What's up, y'all? We are back for episode 11 of Baddies South. Y'all already know what I'm about to say. This episode was a bunch of nothing. It's probably gonna be the quickest review I've ever done for anything. Like, this is my notes. Not much of nothing. Literally that. That's how much there was to this episode. Like, the entire episode was majorly spent on Bourbon Street. But we'll get into it. But as always, thank y'all again for watching the videos and commenting and all that stuff. Thumbsing up the video, subscribing, doing all that, because like I said, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're gonna slow down a little bit, but I can't fault y'all because these episodes have been kind of boring, so it's not really bringing in too much traction. But if y'all can, continue to share it, continue to get this stuff out so we can get that going real quick. But let's go ahead and talk about it. So let's go. Rollie and Natalie having a little scuffle, and at the end of this, you basically get them both separated. They both have their wigs off. Natalie's still talking her shit and popping her shit. You know how Natalie is. Whenever she gets in a fight, that's all she's gonna do is pop her shit. Regardless if she win or lose, she's still gonna talk shit, which I guess I can respect in a way. But she out here calling Rollie a fat ass and yada yada yada. And it's like, at this point, Natalie, you can't be calling nobody fat because they ain't the same, but Natalie is big too. Like, you can't really be calling her fat because you ain't that far from her. And if anything, you might be right there with her. You just a little bit taller than she is, so it kind of evens out. If she was Rollie's size, she might be the same size. But they sitting there talking shit and whatnot, and Slim's sitting there telling people to shut up, and she's screaming like, shut up, because everybody's a lot of commotion going on. And as this is going on, I see Scotty kind of like, she's giving aggression. I don't know exactly the reason why in that moment. We'll get to that in a second, but that stuck out to me. Slim sitting there, like I said, telling people to shut up. Rock ends up checking her, like, who the fuck you telling to shut up? And she goes, I'm not talking to you. Rock was on her, and I was enjoying it. But we'll talk more about that too later on as well. But Natalie, she's sitting there talking shit, and then she ends up finding a wig that's on the counter and throws it at Rollie, not realizing the wig that she just threw was hers. Like, she throwing it at Rollie, talking about, get your shit, get your shit. Trying to be funny and stuff like, oh, I snatched your wig. But, I mean, you snatching somebody's wig ain't doing that. And then the thing is, too, she was laughing and stuff, saying that Rollie's tooth was bloody and whatnot. From what I saw, Natalie didn't swing not one time. So you couldn't have done that. So Rollie then confirms it was something like, I guess, with her tongue ring or whatever, ended up nicking her, either the top, her gum or her tooth, whatever. It just made her tongue, or her tooth bleed a little bit. But Natalie, of course, is trying to take credit for that. But she's sitting there talking shit, and then they ended up taking her upstairs. And as she goes upstairs, Rollie's downstairs pressing Scotty because Scotty was in the mix, and Rollie looks at that as her trying to jump in. Scotty said that she was just trying to get her phone because you had my phone, and of course if I had my phone right here, I'm gonna be trying to get it, but with security there, obviously I'm gonna have to fight a little bit more to get it. That's what Scotty was saying. So then as all this is going on, Natalie's upstairs, and Sway and Jayla come up there trying to basically check on Natalie. And she won't let them in, and she's sitting there telling them to shut the fuck up. And they just sat there and was laughing. And I'm like, they really gonna sit here and let her tell them to shut the fuck up? But they did, but I guess they weren't taking it serious in that moment, so I guess I wouldn't necessarily either. But they was trying to help her, but she didn't want no help, so they ended up going back downstairs. So as the rest of the commotion downstairs is going on, we get Chrisean. Chrisean is saying that Slim is always running behind Rollie. What did I tell y'all last week? Exactly. She said she been bucking and popping her shit in that corner, but she ain't coming out of that corner. And she said Rollie is always fighting Slim's battles. She said Slim's trying to, she basically just saying Slim is the type to pop her shit and then let Rollie do all her business. And she said the thing is, and you can tell Rock, I told y'all this like a couple weeks ago, you can tell Rock and Rollie respect each other because both of them are going to bump. If it comes down to it, they gonna fight, regardless of who they fight and if they win or lose, because both of them have lost fights before. Rock lost that fight on the Blueface show, the first fight with Weezy, but Weezy could fight. Rock wasn't losing to nobody that couldn't fight. Rollie, the only fight that I've seen her lose was the one with Jayla. Again, she ain't fighting somebody that can't fight. So you take some, you lose some, and I'd rather lose a fight to somebody that can fight than to lose a fight to somebody that doesn't know how to fight. But that's basically what I'm getting at. Both of them will fight and pretty much defend themselves no matter what. And that's what Rock was saying to Slim. She's like, Rollie handles her. You don't handle your shit. Like, Rollie, the majority of the fights that she's been in this house is defending you. And Slim was stuck, because it was funny too, because she kept, like, Rock was pressing her and Slim could not say anything. And she kept saying, get out of my face, get out of my face. Mind you, there's a whole table, there's Rollie right here, there's like 3 security guards over here, 3 security guards over here, and Rock is right here. They're not even that close. So why are you telling her to get out your face? Because you don't have anything else to say, because you know it's true. And it's funny too, because as she was saying certain things, saying slick shit, trying to get loud and stuff, she kept looking around looking for a co-signer. Nobody was co-signing her, not even Rollie. Rollie was sitting there just minding her business, talking shit about Natalie. Because you could tell Rollie in the moment, Rollie wasn't going to do that. And that's why I like Rollie. When it comes to Rollie and Slim, Rollie, I've always liked Rollie. Slim, I ain't like her. I've never liked her because, like I said, I see them scary tendencies, and that's what she is. And Slim was basically saying that, Slim was basically saying, as Rock was saying, or as I was just saying, Rock was saying that Slim is scary. And Slim said that she don't want to fight, da 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 da. So Slim was saying also that Chrisean don't want to fight a girl who rode her nigga's face. Again, I can't stand listening to her say nigga. Y'all swear up and down that she's black. And I seen that picture of her dad, but to me, it still ain't enough for me. But she dropped it too much for my liking. But she said that Chrisean don't want to fight a girl who rode her nigga's face, talking about Sway. And I'm like, she don't want to fight her, but she fought her twice already. What are you talking about? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you just looking for things now to try and make Chrisean look stupid. And it's just like, at the end of the day, you look stupid. But as she was saying all that, they continue to argue, and security ends up pulling Rock upstairs. Rock goes upstairs, Slim's outside with Rollie, sitting there screaming and just venting and whatnot because she's mad and she done got tight. So she out there screaming and shit. Rollie then gets up and goes somewhere else. And then whenever Rollie got up, what did Slim do? Follow right behind her. But guess what? She didn't get to Rollie. She was still outside with the security and sitting out there venting and stuff. Saying that when you think of Chrisean, you always think of Blueface. Basically saying Chrisean has no identity. That's a bold-faced lie. Yeah, maybe now, because all you seeing is Chrisean and Blueface, which I don't want to talk about it again, but like, damn, I just want her to get some help. I saw some shit about her brother put on Twitter or on Instagram, whatever, saying that he wanted to get her some help, like, or in a way just want to ask Blueface, do you really love her? Because like, she loves you, but do you really love her the way you treating her and stuff? And I'm like, yeah, she need her brothers in her life, but she basically saying that, like, she can't stand on her own. Rock can stand on her own. Like I said, Rock don't need Blueface. You need a lot more help. Like, that's why you on Zeus. Like, Slim don't stand on her own. Slim, you literally came on this show attached to Rollie. Rollie can stand on her own. You can't. Like, if you came on this show by yourself, nobody would be paying her any attention. The only reason why they're paying her attention is because she's attached to Rollie, who has her own personality and her own persona that is just enough to carry a show. Like, Rollie has carried One More Chance both seasons. That's why she came back the second season. But that's what she was saying with that. And then she was saying, too, because Blueface wants to eat her pussy. That's news to me. Why would he want to eat that? I don't know, because you ain't nothing but skin and bones. Like, there ain't nothing to grab on, too. Either when I'm sitting there thinking, like, Slim, like, there ain't nothing to grab on when it comes to you. Like, there ain't nothing to grab on. When I'm saying grab on, like, no niggas gonna, well, I ain't gonna say no nigga, but somebody will, but I doubt Blueface will. But anyways, Sway is upstairs getting ready because we got a whole new scene now. They all upstairs getting ready to go on Bourbon Street. So they doing their makeup, and you know how they go one by one to each person. They're like getting their own little bits of information from how they feeling about the night and whatnot. They ended up getting on the bus. Natalie gets on the bus and says that it's weird that Bree brought that fat bitch to the house. Still calling Rollie fat when you literally are the same size. Bree said that she fucks with him. That's why she brought him there. And I don't blame Bree because, I mean, if I'm cool with somebody too, I'm going to bring them too. Shit. Like, if I want them here, I'm going to bring them there. But Natalie was bitching and saying, you don't come to somebody's shit, talking reckless, da da da. It's like, Natalie, that's not your shit. That's Zeus's. Well, it's not even Zeus's shit. Y'all are renting this place out. Like, she can come if she wants to. She's under contract to be on this show, just like you are under contract to be on this show. They can go where they want to come. But Jayla then asked Bree why she's always wanting to take up for Rollie and Slim. And I'm like, Jayla, in this instance, she lost me there. Because I'm like, if you cool with somebody And I don't even think Brie was taken up for them per se. Like, she just brought them there because she wanted them to be included. I just don't understand that logic where J-Lo was at. That's the first time I disagree with J-Lo. But Brie was like, she fucked with him, that's why. But Rock then asked Scotty too, because Scotty was talking about it, and then she asked her if she's a fighter, and Scotty said not really, but she will if she needs to. And Chrisean was basically saying like Scotty's a vibe. She just like, you can tell she can't fight, and maybe might not even know how to fight. But she basically saying they're gonna have to address the situation with Rollie eventually. So Rock probably gonna end up jumping in if need be. But Natalie's still bitching, and Rock saying, and it's funny too, because as Natalie was bitching, Rock kept saying that she got good, that she got a good pussy. And Rock is doing this on purpose because she wants Natalie to shut up, and that's why I love her, because she's doing exactly what I be thinking. I'm like, can somebody shut her up? And she kept saying it to the point where they finally caught on to what she was doing. But then they ended up getting off the bus, and this is when they're on Bourbon Street. And it's funny because when Chrisean got off the bus, she's looking both ways, making sure there ain't no bounty hunters around. We'll get to that in a minute. But it was funny. So Rollie and Slim ended up at the place that they were at. They ended up going upstairs to the top. You know how in New Orleans, they go up to the top and throw beads. So they all there and whatnot. So they're all throwing beads, and Rollie was basically saying that Slim was still upset about Rock trying to fight her, but she convinced her to come out and whatnot. So they're upstairs throwing the beads and stuff. Sway's making people show their titties and stuff. So they go down onto the strip for Bourbon Street, and they're walking down, and there's not much to really talk about here. Like, that's literally what the majority of the episode was. They're just going down, just having fun and stuff. They were having fun. At first, I was like, it's kind of, they were saying it was lit, but they weren't showing any lit parts at that moment, but it got litter towards the end. I just said litter. It got more lit towards the end of the episode. Yeah, they had a lot of people out. And obviously the people, they were saying like everybody was gravitating towards them. And I'm like, yeah, maybe they did have some good energy, but they was gravitating towards y'all because they see all these cameras and these lights and they want to be on TV. So, but regardless of that, they were having fun and whatnot with snakes and shit and just doing random shit that they do on Bourbon Street. But all in all, the vibes were good, but the episode was boring. And Natalie and they ended up going to a club too. And they was all in the club, on the stage, twerking and dancing and whatnot. But Natalie and Rollie made up during that. But that was pretty much it. Like, the episode was pretty boring. It was a waste of my time. But I'm not mad at it because I'm trying to chill. But that was the episode. Let me know what y'all think. Next week, we have them going to Houston. Actually, damn, I just forgot. The most important part of the episode. Rock got caught by the bounty hunters on the way to Houston. So they was on their way to Houston, and outside, it's like the choppers up. They had like choppers up there. They had all the police cars, the U.S. Marshals. They were all outside. Like, it was a big old scene. And of course, they played dramatic music as they were getting Chrisean. Chrisean's on the ground. They got her and whatnot. Everybody's looking extra concerned, and I could tell they were concerned. This is probably a genuine moment of like, damn, like I'm scared for her. And she was crying, and you know, Chrisean's young. Like, she probably ain't never, I don't think she's ever been arrested until maybe this moment. But you can tell she was scared. J-Lo was obviously the main one, like they're there trying to help her. But Sway, you can tell Sway was bothered by it, even though she had certain differences with Chrisean. Everybody seemed like they were concerned, so it was good to see her have some support. But it looks like she's gonna be back next week, so that's all good. She got the money to get bailed out. But yeah, so next week they're in Houston. It looks like they were having a party in Houston. It looked like it was a pretty lit party in Houston for Anthony from Bad Boys, because Rollie was also there in this episode. I forgot to mention that. He was in the episode as well because I guess he's from, or at least lives in New Orleans. But he was there. Looked like he was there too again in Houston. I saw what's his face, Gutta from Bad Boys as well, and then Anthony, his party. And I know Yodeler was there as well from One More Chance. So it's probably gonna be like a big Zeus reunion. And then of course Sydney is there on her stalker tour, trying to stalk and be on the show. And of course when she's there, she's starting drama and whatnot. So we're gonna see the fight, the viral fight that went viral of Sway and her fighting in the streets. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see that. But yeah, that's the episode. Let me know what y'all think. Drop the comments down below. Thumbs up the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on my socials. I'm big. I've been watching Big Brother a lot, even though I'm very mad about what's about to happen this week. very mad. If you want to talk to me about that, hit me on Twitter or down here in the comments. And I'll see y'all next week. Peace.